Okay, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. So today, I'd like to continue on the things that we did last time. And again, just to remind you that this is the link to the lecture. And today, you will need it because today it's going to be more code. And I think if you can copy and paste, it will be much faster, okay? So let's visit this website. Oh, where is it? Okay, and today we're going to topic number 2, React applications. Let's go. All right. So last time we built, simple website. Although we did get our hands on, the very important technology in web application, which are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So today I wanna touch on the JavaScript part today, because if you were to develop something that is more complicated, the part that is going to be the hardest one, and I guess a lot of code would be the part that uses the JavaScript. Okay, and I mean, if you are doing things by yourself, usually you just write JavaScript on your own without any guidelines. You just do it on your own, or develop any pattern or structure on your own. But then once your projects involve many developers, and or your project's gonna get a lot more complicated, then the JavaScript part is gonna be like a spaghetti code. It's gonna be like messy, and it's gonna be hard to maintain. And that's why people come up with a way to write JavaScript in a more structured way, and in a way that you can collaborate with other people, and in a way that there's some standard on what you're doing. Like if you want to do this, you have to follow this principle, and you guarantee a certain degree of maintainability and predictability, and also homogeneity in your code. Okay, I also develop code for a long time, and I have seen the code that gets too complex and very hard to maintain, and I have seen code that adopt this type of framework, and they are quite maintainable, and also when you get new people on board, then they can understand what you're doing. So there are many benefits of writing JavaScript on your own, or you follow some type of framework. Okay, so we're going to be using one today. Okay, all right. So what is a framework? Okay, so framework is a library. So library is the code that other people write for you. Okay, and this code has some opinion. Okay, this is the keyword here. So if you want to use this framework, you have to follow the opinion of the author. Okay. And this is the opinion about how software get built. Okay. Again, this one, when you have opinion, that means that you are going to be limited in terms of what you can do. So your freedom is a little bit limited. Okay, instead of just writing everything on your own, right? But with the limited freedom, that's actually a good thing. Okay, because it allows for predictability and homogeneity in your code. Okay, so what you mean by predictability is that if you're doing this, you're gonna get this, and it's always gonna do follow this type of pattern always. Okay, so that's good for you, and also for those who collaborate with you. And also the homogeneity is quite nice, because you can get new people on board, and they pretty much understand what you're doing. Okay. So if you were to go along this web development journey, you're gonna see the decision that has to be made, I think, right at the beginning of your project, which is, are you going to just use what's called vanilla JavaScript? So when I say vanilla, it's like ice cream flavor, that it's very plain. So if you just write things using the JavaScript, just pure JavaScript without any frameworks, we call them vanilla JS. Okay, and this is not a bad thing. And there are certain projects that's actually better off with just writing vanilla JavaScript. So something that you did last time, for example, okay? And usually that is for the project that's not too complex and you just work alone. That's very fast to get it going. That's perfect for that type of application. But then once you application get more complicated, you need to work with other people, then I think framework is the way to go. Okay, and then I think we're gonna just get our hands on the framework today. And keep in mind that this framework is what the real developer uses today. Like the one who actually get paid writing code, they're using the same framework that you are using right now. I mean, in a short while. So you'll see why people get paid writing code. Okay. All right. So in order to see what we got, my decision of what framework to give it to you, I base my decision on the survey because I want to use the one that is the most popular. Okay. And how do you know which one the most popular? I use this Stack Overflow survey. Okay. If you write code for just a little bit and then start searching online for answer, you're gonna come across this website. It's called Stack Overflow. It's where people post it's a forum where people post questions and people, another user answers. So every year, this website, which is quite popular, they conduct a survey to see, the current technology, and this is where we're gonna base our decisions on, okay, on what to use today. Because there's so many, okay? So if I were to visit this particular section, it's called Web Framework and Technology, then you're gonna see some lists, right? I mean, the name might not ring a bell to you. The first one, Node.js, that's the framework that is used on the server. So that's not what we are using today. Because today we are actually using something, it's called on the client, okay? Again, I'm throwing lots of words to you. Don't worry if you don't understand everything that I said, okay? But what we are going to use today is actually this one over here. What? This guy, okay? It's, maybe I should do this, okay? This guy over here, okay? It's called React, okay? So React is the, I would say, a client-side web framework that you can use for building pretty much the same thing that you did last time, but we're gonna use this one today, okay? And keep in mind that this is probably the most popular what they call front-end framework. And if you are looking for a job as front-end developer, React is probably the technology that you need to know. Okay, so this is something that people actually get paid doing this. Okay. All right, so React it is because I prepared this for you. All right. Okay, so let's get started with React. Okay. So keep in mind that today it's gonna be coding. So that means that you cannot make mistakes. If you make just one particular misspell, then it's gonna yell at you. So be a little bit more focused today in terms of what you're typing, because then you'll get a smoother experience, okay? So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna open command prompt. It's called CMD. So if I were to go to my search bar, I can search for this guy right here. This one. Okay, if you open it, it's gonna look quite intimidating, like this. Okay, yours might not look the same as I do, but it's a terminal where you can type something in. Okay. Next up, we're gonna go to this command. Again, from now on, all the commands, all the code, it needs to be correct. You cannot misspell it. Okay. So might be your best strategy. I guess I'm recommending open my lecture and copy and paste. That will be the fastest way, okay? So if you want to do the way that I recommend is you're going to copy. So copy, you can either right click and copy, or if the shortcut is Control-C, okay? And then you are going to the terminal and you right click. See, if you right click on the terminal, it just pastes things really fast, okay? So I do recommend just copy and paste. That way we can go more smoothly, okay? All right, so you will be greeted with some options. Okay, so the first one, you can hit enter. Let me just hit enter. Okay. Okay, do not hit enter too many times, just follow me, okay? The second one, we are going to choose React, okay? If you choose vanilla, that means that you are doing like last time. So please make sure that you choose React. If you make mistakes, just call me, I'll fix it for you, okay? All right, so React it is. Press enter one more time, like that. And here there are variants. Okay, we're gonna choose JavaScript plus SWC, this guy right here, okay? There are many ways of writing the same thing. This is kind of like, it's quite overwhelming for newcomers, okay? So we're gonna choose JavaScript plus SWC. Hit enter. This option, just choose no, okay? So no, please, yeah? And you wanna install PNPM and start now? Okay, let's do it. Yes. So mostly, so just to recap, everything that I told you is listed on page number 7. Okay, but if you had any problem and you feel like you're doing the wrong thing, just call me, okay? Okay, so let me show you what's going to happen if you're done, okay? If you're done, you should see something like this, okay? If it's installing, just let it do its thing, okay? But once you're done, you're going to see that there is some URL, which is an address that you can type into a web browser. So you can either type that one, it's called HTTP localhost, and then 5173. So this is the address that you want to type onto your address bar in your web browser. Or even better than that, you can control click. So I'm gonna hold control and I'm gonna click, and you're gonna see that it's actually open that particular URL right away. That's another shortcut. Control click at the link and it will open the web browser with that address right away. And you should see this, okay? And while I make sure that everyone is at the same pace, I'm gonna, you can wait for your friends. And while you're waiting, you can start clicking, because this one is a counter. So yeah, while you're waiting, you can just keep clicking for no reason, okay? Okay, I think everyone got this website on their screen. If not, last call. All right, let's go. Okay, so this website is I guess it's being served from your computer. So notice that if I were to zoom in, okay, you're gonna see that the link is actually start with localhost. If it's localhost, that means that it's your computer. It's local, okay? It's not serving from anywhere on the internet. Okay, so where is it serving from? Right here. This one. So this terminal is actually running a process that's serving the website. It's acting as a web server, okay? So if I want to turn off the website or the server, I can also do that. The command is not the command, but the shortcut is Control and C-cat. You see that? I hit Control and C-cat, then the process stopped. As I can see, the fact that this one, I can start typing. So that means that it stopped, right? And if I were to go back to my website and I hit refresh one time, you're gonna see that it's actually not connected anymore. So that means it's almost like the server is down. Okay. Okay. And if I want to start my server again, I can also do that too by doing this. Oh, okay. So right now, I'm actually gonna stop you for now, because I think we should use VS Code from now on. But right now, so I want everyone to be at this terminal where you have this prompt active like this, meaning that you can type something, okay? This is where I want you to be, okay? Next, we are going to find this particular location. Okay, I want you to type Explorer. Okay, so this one I didn't put in my slide, but can you type Explorer and then hit spacebar and then dot. Okay, what you're gonna see is it's gonna bring up this Explorer windows. Okay, and your code is actually lives inside the folder called Wheat project right here. So next step, I want you guys to find this folder on your Windows Explorer. Okay, let me show you one more time. Okay, because actually I forgot you to go to the desktop first, so then I have to show you how to do this first. Okay, so if you don't have any Explorer windows open, right, you can stay where you are in your terminal. Okay, and you can type Explorer and then space and then dot. So that means open the Windows Explorer right here, because our code is in here. So I wanna open it. And you can kind of scroll down until you see the folder called Wheat project. Okay. Can I see the hand if you cannot find your folder? I want you to find this one. Okay, so that means you guys have located your code. Okay, if that's the case, we're gonna continue. Okay, so the next step is we're gonna open VS Code now. I see some people open it, so yeah, we're gonna use it. Okay, and what I want you to do is I want you to drag Wheat folder. Remember the folder that I want you to locate? Drag it in like this. See? Drag it in. And then let go. And if you did that correctly, then you should see the same exact files like I do here. It has to be identical to what I have here. Okay? Let me show you one more time. If I close the folder, I can close the folder, right? What I want you to do is find your Wheat project folder and then drag it into your VS Code. And now your workspace is set correctly. Okay, so this is so that we can continue working in VS Code at the right location. I guess that's the intent. Okay, so before we go, I want everyone to have VS Code open, and you should see the list of files and folder like I do exactly. If you don't see something like this, I can go help you. Or maybe I'll just do one more round of walking. All right, so now we're here. Okay, so just want to let you know that if you like developing things in React, this is typically the file that you're going to be working with. So usually when we write web application, during the development, there are tons of files. But then toward the end, we will be building the project, which means that we're going to compress everything into a couple files to be deployed onto the internet. Okay? So right now it still seems overwhelming because during development there are many options we want to change and things like that. But in the end, your web application will just boil down to a couple files in the end. Okay? Okay, so we are going to start our web server one more time so that we can access our website. Okay? In order to do that, we are going to click at Terminal and New Terminal. Okay? And again, I want to let you know that this terminal right here, where you can type, it's similar to this terminal right here. Kind of the same thing, right? So you can just close this one if you want. We don't use that one anymore, but we're going to be using the terminal inside the VS Code, which is pretty much the same as the one that you just opened in the beginning. Okay? And the command that we're going to type is called npm run dev. run with the N. Okay, this one you can just type it in. No need to copy, right? Just pnpm run def, and then hit enter, and you're gonna see the same thing, the familiar looking display. Okay, can you see? I think I might put it in here somewhere. Yep, okay. If you want to see the command, it's this guy right here on page 10, pnpm run def. Okay, let me show you what happened. If I hit enter, then you're going to see the same thing, right? It's exactly what just happened in the other terminal. And again, you can also go back to your website. Okay, if anybody interested, you can look at page number 10, okay, pnpm run def. And again, if you follow this link, then you're going to see the same website coming up, okay? I'm going to control click because I like shortcut, okay? If you control click, then it's going to show it again, okay? Okay, so let me show you the behavior one more time. Okay, so right now our website is working, meaning if I hit refresh, you know, it's available, right? But if I want to turn off the website because we're not serving it anymore, then I go back to my VS Code. I make sure that I click, you know, somewhere in the terminal so that it's active, and then I hit Control C. Did you notice this? If I hit Control C, then the prompt comes up. That means that it's no longer serving the website. If I go back to my website and I hit refresh, now the website is down. Okay? Because nothing is serving the website. If I want to start serving the website again, I can type pnpm run def. But as a shortcut, you can hit the arrow key up to cycle through your history. See, I can always hit up and down. And then if you hit up one more time, it's going to use the last command, which is the one that we want. Hit enter. And then our website is up again. And then we're going to refresh, and then now it comes back. Okay? So I just want you to be familiar with this behavior. It's called the local server. Okay? It's the things that run on our computer, and we access it from our computer. And again, that's why the link is called localhost. Like this part, meaning it's going back to your computer, basically. Okay, if you have not if you don't see this on your web browser, can you just call me? Okay, so that means you guys are good. Okay, let's go. All right. Okay, so basically we're gonna change this one because this one looks too boring. Okay, so let me go back to my VS Code, and keep in mind that you should keep this one open. Okay. You can hide it if you want. See, I'm hiding it. Doesn't matter, but it's still there. Okay, it's still there. Okay. The only thing, if you were to delete it with the trash bin like this, that means it's gone. Okay. If I were to just hit this one, actually this one is called hidden. So if you click X like this, it's okay. It's still active, but it's just hidden. Okay, so I can just click X like this. It's still working. Okay. If I want to bring up my terminal again, I can do View, and then I can do Terminal. See, it comes up. I can hide it, View, Terminal, to bring it back again. So nothing gets killed at all. Okay. All right. So first, I want you to change the title. So right now, if I go back to my tab, this is a wheat project. Now, this is too boring. So let's change that. I'm going to go back to my VS Code, and did you see the file called index.html? This guy right here. Can you help me change this one? Okay, does it look familiar? This one is just normal HTML, right? And then we did it last time. If you change the title in your header tag, then it will change the title on your tab. Let's do that, shall we? So I'm going to change this one too. My very cool website. Okay? And again, if you see this symbol over here, whoop, right here, that means you have not saved your file. So when you type something in this program, it does not auto-save for you. So please hit save. Okay, so when you hit save, you can either do file and then save, or you can do Control S, which is the fastest way. I recommend Control S. Okay, so I can make a change here. And if I go back to my website and then I just look at the tab, you can see that it has now changed. Okay, so make sure that you save your files. Okay, that's something I've seen quite often. Let's stop. All right, next up, we're gonna do something about this icon over here. It's called favicon. Okay, this icon looks boring, so let's change that too. Okay. Let's go to my the site that I listed on page 12, shall we? There is a link to the favicon generator, so let's check this one out. All right, so let's customize our favicon a little bit, okay? So right now, you can choose your graphics in any way you want. I'm just going to choose text. Okay? And if you choose text, or you can choose emoji if you want, right? I'm going to choose text. Okay? And I'm going to delete this and I'm going to type NR. So that's my initial. Okay? So see, I choose text and then I change my text character. And then I can see my change reflected in here. Okay, and then I can even choose the color. So I'm going to choose this color, blue, for example. Okay. Just choose something. Okay. All right. You can go play more if you want later. Your fonts, right, and your customization in your typography. And once you're done with your coolest favicon, you can download it. Okay. So the way to download is I'm going to download it as a zip file. Okay, so don't take too much time on the actual graphic. Doesn't really matter, but just want to show you how it works. Okay, just type something in, choose a color, and call it a day. Okay, so download the zip file. Okay, and I want you to open the zip file first. Okay, open it. Okay, and here's the part that most some people get wrong is if you open it like this one is still in a zip file, right? You have to expand it first. Okay, so I'm gonna double click in here, right? And here I'm still in the zip file, so I need to drag it outside like this in order to decompress it, right? So take it outside first so that you can get access to the file, but not in the compressed zip. Okay, so that's what some people get it wrong. So I click into the zip file. It's almost like I can access the file, right? But no, this is still in your compressed zip file. So you gotta drag it out to decompress it. Okay. And now I have stuff in here. See? The things that I just made. Okay. And what I want is this guy right here. Favicon. Sorry. So this guy. I want this guy right here. This is what I want. Okay? So let's do this. I'm going to open my VS Code one more time. Okay? And I'm going to go to public. Okay? See, I expand my public folder. Okay? And what I want you to do is you're going to drag this thing into your public folder. I want the favicon into your public folder. Okay, let me show you how to do it. So I'm gonna drag it in my public folder. And right away I see that I have the favicon in the public folder. Okay? If you cannot drag it, have you expand it out? You have to drag it out first. Like my folder in here, I have to drag it out from the zip file first. Or else the dragging will not work. Okay? Okay. Okay, let me continue until the whole process, and then I'll come back again, okay, for those who have finished it, okay. And the last step that we're going to do is we're going to change something in our index.html. In particular, I want to change this guy right here on line number 5. So instead of saying width.svg, which refers to this file, you should make it so that it's referred to this file. So basically, replace the name with this. See, because you already have your file in the right place, right? All you need to do is to change the file name. Okay, so I'm going to type favicon.svg. That's all. That's all I did. Change it to favicon.svg. And let me check if it works first, okay? I go back to my website, and right away you can see that I got the new pretty cool logo on my website, okay? All right, so let me go through the whole process again, okay? Just for if you still haven't get up to this point, okay? The first thing is I go to my page 12 and visit the favicon generator, okay? And usually I choose text, okay? And I just type something like NR and choose some color, okay? Like that. I just choose something else, okay? And I go to the bottom and download the zip file, okay? And again, this is a little bit tricky because if you just double click onto your zip file, it's almost as if you can access the file, but that's not the way it is. It's because you have to decompress it first. Okay? So what I usually do is I usually drag it out to the desktop. Okay, so that's the way to decompress the zip file. And then I open it and look for the file name called favicon. Okay, you want the big one though. You don't want the small one. Okay, the big one. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to my VS Code. And then I'm going to drag my favicon file to my public folder. Okay, this is, since I already have the file, so it's going to ask if I want to overwrite and replace. Yeah, why not? Okay. So in the end, I want you to have the file called favicon.svg in your public folder. Okay. And the last step would be to change the name on line number 5 to favicon.svg. Corresponding to this guy right here. That's all you need to do. And then save, and you should see the change. Okay, let me, okay, so everyone's done. That's great job. So let's go further, okay? So right now, our website has too many things in here, okay? I want to clean everything so that you can start from the beginning. Okay, so let's clean it. Okay, I want you can close all the windows that you had open, and we're gonna go to source dot. Let's do the CSS first. Okay, so I'm gonna do app.css. Okay, we're gonna clean many files, but let's go for app.css. I want you to delete everything, like that. See, I delete everything, and then I hit saved. Again. So app.css, clear, saved, okay? Next up, index.css, this guy. So there are two files now, .css file. This guy also, I'm going to clear it. Select everything, clear, saved. Okay, so I have two blank CSS files here. And now if you go back to your website, it's going to look very, very standard like last time, which is what we want. Okay, what I've seen, a lot of people forgot to save, and that's why it doesn't change. Okay, so once done, you can close it. Last job for the clearing is to go to app.jsx. Okay, again, you can clear everything. Okay, but don't save yet. Okay, clear first. If you save, that's okay. Okay. I want you to go back to my, my lecture and go to page number 13. And I want you to copy this part right here. Okay? And then paste it back into app.jsx. Okay, so basically, I want you to have this file, to have this content, this one. Okay, that's all I want. Okay, and now you can save and see what happened. Okay, and what's going to happen is it's going to be blank. Nothing in here, which is correct because we just delete all the content. Okay. Okay, again, one more time. In the source folder, you can delete everything in app.css, index.css, clear everything. Okay, and lastly, in app.jsx, it has to be something in there, which is, this is the simplest thing you can have, which is blank, okay? And that one's coming from page number 13 in my lecture. Okay? If you have problem, can you call me? Okay, if not, we're gonna go, all right? Okay, so let's start writing something fun, okay? So I'm going to put this one side by side so that you can see how it changes, okay? Okay, so basically, I want you to think about this one as the code, like the JavaScript code, okay? So it has to be somewhat specific, okay? If you're going to find out very soon that if you make small mistakes, it will yell at you because this is like coding, okay? So it's okay. If you cannot fix it, I'll fix it for you, okay? But just keep in mind that this is not HTML anymore, okay? All right, so what I want you to do is, can you place the cursor between this little HTML tag right here and give it some space like this, okay? I want to be between that, it's called empty brackets. Okay, and I'm going to type something that probably is going to look familiar, which is H1. And then welcome to my website. And I'm going to hit saved. You see that? And now it has to be specific in a sense that you have to put everything between the empty brackets. If you put this one on top, it doesn't work. Start yelling at me, okay? It has to be between the empty brackets. Okay, this is how specific it is, okay? You cannot make mistake in terms of if you delete the closing tag, it will yell at you. It has to have the closing tag. Last time, if you don't have the closing tag, it will just display incorrectly. But this time, it's not gonna display anything because it's syntactically error. Okay, so you have to have the correct, I guess, closing tag, matching tags like this in order for it to work. Okay. Okay, so apart from that, specificity, then I guess if you remember from last time, I mean, if you just look at this part, this is just almost like HTML, right? And if you think like that, it's correct because it's designed to look like HTML. But behind the scene, this is JavaScript. This is not HTML. So that's why you cannot make mistakes, okay? But you can certainly use the HTML syntax like from last time. It will work as long as you don't make mistakes or misspell, okay? For example, I can always use p tag, which is the paragraph tag. from HTML, right? I guess welcome, and then I can say my name is Niran, something like that. See, it still works like last time. Okay, so what I want you to do is you can continue like last time. Remember, we had the name, we have H2, and then like my favorite food. Right? And then we even have the unordered list, right? And then the list tag, let's say pizza. And also I have rice. See, it works pretty much the same, right? Syntactically, it looks like HTML. But behind the scene, this is not HTML at all, okay? Okay, so, and some of you did this, which is actually not a bad idea because you see HTML, right? So we're gonna right click and open with live server. So this is what we did last time. So why can't we just do that? If I do that, this is what's gonna happen. Blank page, okay? You know why it's blank page? Easy, check this one out. This one has nothing in it. See the body tag right here, it's empty. The only thing that's in the body tag is this script tag over here. So this script tag is actually the entry point for the JavaScript to take over and populate the content with what you're writing right here. So what's going to happen is that this part is going to get injected into this part during the runtime. So that's why if you just open this file, just for this file only using the live server, it does not work because there's no injection mechanism. So you have to open it from the way that I do it here, which is to use the command called pnpm run dev. If you use this command, that injection part is going to work. So that's why you see content on your website. Okay. Nobody did this before, so thank you for pointing out that this is something that not a bad idea, but unfortunately it does not work in this particular context. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go back to pnpm run dev, and now if I go back to my website, which is localhost, it should work now. Okay. Okay, so before we go, why not just adding some image, right? Because it makes our website looks nicer. Okay, so go back to my app.jsx, and yeah, let's just find one image. My pet, right? So pexel. And let's search for dog. Okay, maybe this guy. So I'm gonna copy, right? Copy image link. Okay, and I'm gonna go back here, and I'm just gonna type h2 and my pet, right? And then image tag, and then source. Okay, and there you go. I got dog, but again it's too big, right? So I'm gonna change, add in some attributes, which is saying that this is gonna be width equal 300 pixel. Oh, that's too big, so I'll do 200 pixel. Okay, something like that. See, so like last time, and as you can see that the syntax is very similar. Okay, although as I was mentioning many times already, this is not HTML. This is JavaScript. Okay, making it look like HTML. Okay, so up until now, this framework does not help you at all. Okay, because I mean you could have written this with just the HTML from last time. Okay, so let me tell you something else you can do. Okay, oh okay, actually I forgot. We can add some styling into it. I forgot about CSS. So can I, let's do this together, okay? So on top of my page, I will add one code in here. It's called import, okay? And then the quotation, I'm gonna do /app.css. That's all, okay? If you're curious where this comes from, you can go to my slides. It's gonna be on page number 14, okay? This guy right here goes in here. If you want, you can copy and paste, okay? It's okay for now. For number 14. Okay, so once you did that, then don't forget to save it, okay? And next up, I'm gonna go to my app.css. Okay, notice that this is the particular file that we want, which is right here. Okay, so you gotta have the file in here. Okay, so I'm gonna go to app.css, and right now I can just type something like body, background color, red, and you're gonna see that my website actually changed into red. Okay, so let's make sure that you can have this behavior works for you. Okay, so if you app.css, you type some things in here, and it actually changes your website. Okay, let me go help people. Okay, so I'm not gonna go too much in CSS today because we already covered something like that. But you know, this one looks pretty ugly, right? So if you want, you can also borrow the code from my slide just to make it look, you know, somewhat more standard looking. So if you want, you can choose this one. Okay, so this is the example of kind of like a standard CSS that will make your site looks a little bit more modern looking. If I were to paste something like this, and then my website will look something like that. So somewhat, you know, a little bit more style. Okay, so that is going to be code on page number, okay, so it's going to be page number 16, okay, if you want. But you don't have to do it, okay, but I think it looks nicer for me. Okay, and also there are, just to kind of prepare for the other exercise, there are also more code on page 17. I'm just going to copy page number 17 in right away so that I don't have to do it again later on. Okay, so right now my app.css should have, you know, something in there to style, you know, different HTML components. Okay, so let's continue with something that new today. Right now, it's pretty much everything's the same, right? So what I want to do is actually, I want to focus on this part where I'm introducing myself. And as you can see that I'm saying my name is Niran, right? I want to say what is my age, right? So so right now I'm 43 years old, okay? I can certainly do that, right? But think about this. If I were to encode my age like this, next year, this website is going to be obsolete because it changes, right? So since we're already, you know, using, you know, programming language called JavaScript, we can make this one, you know, more dynamic, okay? So I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to say that right now, okay, so here, anything that goes between this space right here, so you can see that there is a function, right? And there's a return, okay? And there's a space in here. So this is where we can put our stuff in here, okay? Like an actual code, okay? So I'm gonna say const. Okay, so const is like a declaration of the variable. I'm gonna say birth year. Okay, equal. So 1982 is my birth year. Okay, so I just almost like writing, a Python code and things like that. But I'm just gonna say that this is my birth year. Okay, and then I'm gonna say that what is the current year, right? And this one should be more dynamics, and that's just exactly what the JavaScript is, like programming language is good for. So I'm gonna do const, okay, current year, okay, equal, and this one is the JavaScript syntax. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. Just type with me. Okay, new date, okay, get full year, and like that. Okay, so this part, we declare a variable called, my birth year, and this is the current year. And notice that we don't really hard code the current year, right? Because it's gonna keep changing whenever, people visit our website, okay? And if I have this, then I can certainly find my age, right? Equal current year subtracted by birth year, okay? Okay, so right now I have my age, which is this guy over here. It would be nice if I can put my age in here, right? Right now I'm hard coding the number, which is gonna get obsolete next year. So it would be nice if I can do that. And this is what the frameworks allow you to do. This is very specific to this React framework. So I'm gonna do like this. Instead of typing 43, I'm gonna do the curly brace and then age. And check that one out. So right now it's saying 43 years old, but actually that 43 is actually dynamically calculated. Like this one, I didn't even hard code it. And that's a good thing because whenever people open my website, the year is gonna be, like the age is gonna always be accurate, right? If I were to change my birth year to 2000, then I will be 25 years old, right? So it's dynamically calculates. You can verify if that's the case, okay? All right, is that pretty cool? So, something like this actually goes a long way. Like this type of syntax that you can pretty much just, it's called interpolating the variable into the string like this. It's very powerful, and it allows you to create a more complex display with the variable and things like that later, okay? Okay, and since this is code, right, so you cannot make mistakes. So all of this has to be typed exactly like this. Okay, so next up, we're gonna try something more fun because JavaScript makes the website dynamic. So let's put something dynamics on our website, shall we? Okay, so can you go to page number 18? Okay, and we're gonna input this one in here. Okay, copy this one. So from now on, it's gonna be copy and paste a lot. Okay, so it's gonna be easier. We're gonna copy page 18. I'm gonna go back to my app.jsx. Okay, make sure you're on the right file, and just paste it somewhere. For example, at the bottom. But again, everything that you paste, it has to be between this little guy. Remember, when you first create your app, there's gonna be this empty brackets in here. So make sure your stuff that you just paste is actually between that empty brackets like this, or else it won't work. Okay, and if you do that and you go back into your website, you're gonna have a button in here, and if you click it, then you're gonna have alerts like last time. Remember last time you were able to do alert box, right? And here again, it's a JavaScript framework. It also allows you to do the same thing with just 2 lines of code. Actually, with just 1 line of code, you can do the same thing. Like last time, I think it was maybe 7 or 8 lines of code to do just a simple alert box, right? But with the JavaScript framework like this, it's just 1 line, and you get pretty much the same thing. Okay, so check if that's the case. See if you can make it happen. Okay. Again, I want stuff from page 18. Okay. Copy into my app.jsx. Okay, anywhere between the empty brackets, and you're good to go. Okay, like this. Is that cool? Okay, I think this one's okay. You should let me know if you run into trouble, especially when you have the syntax error. Okay. All right, let me move on. Next, I'm gonna do something fun, because remember that when we first create this website, it has that button counter button, right? We're gonna do the same thing, okay? And that is actually, if you want to do it with vanilla JavaScript, it's actually quite involved, actually, okay? But let me help you with this, okay? So first, we're going to import another thing. This is called useState. It's a function, okay? So when you're on page 19, we're gonna copy the first line, okay? And we're gonna paste it in app.jsx on the second line, maybe, okay? It has to be anywhere above the function statement, okay? So anywhere above the function statement is okay. So like this, import. Okay, that's the first step. Okay. The second step is there's a line right here. It's called const count and set count. Okay, this line. Okay, you don't have to copy the function statement because it's redundant. Okay, just copy the const, this one right here. Yeah, and then we're gonna paste it somewhere above the return statement. As long as it's between the function statement and the return statement, it should be okay. Okay, let's see. I just paste it here between the function and above the return. Okay. Okay, that's the second step. Okay. And the last step is to actually just copy this part. Okay, and paste it somewhere down below between the empty brackets. Okay. I'm gonna go down below and just do another line break and then just copy it. So make sure that the stuff that you paste is between the empty brackets, okay? And you're gonna see that now we're gonna have another interactive element that you can do the incrementing, okay? Okay, let me show you one more time from the beginning what you need to do, okay? Okay, let me just undo everything. Okay. Okay, so first we're gonna go to the first line on page number 19. Okay, import useState from React. I'm gonna paste it on top, above the function statement. Next up, I'm gonna copy the const count set count equal useState. Okay, this one go above the return statement. That should be fine. And lastly, the part that has HTML tags in it, H2 and the button, it goes between at the bottom, I guess, between the empty brackets. Okay, so I'm gonna put it at the bottom, but make sure that it's inside the empty brackets. Okay, and you're gonna have this interactive elements where you can increment the counts. Is that cool? And again, this one is relatively easy. It's very economic in terms of the codes. Actually, if you know how it works, it's actually you can write things quite fast this way. Okay. And also, please save it too. Okay. And let me explain what happened. Okay, so you don't have to know everything, but just kind of what is happening. I think that's all. I'm satisfied. Okay, so first, if you want something that keeps changing, okay, you have to declare the variable. We're gonna declare the variable called count. Okay, so this one is actually storing the counter that we keep adding to it. Okay. And let's see, where do we use this count inside the HTML? It's gonna go down, and it's this guy right here, okay? If you notice the similarity of this syntax and the age syntax that you just did, you're correct, because that's the same thing. So we want to display the count number on our header tag, like this, okay? And then if you go to the button tags, you're gonna see that there is a special syntax. So this one, it's quite specific to the React framework. But you're gonna see that the part where we increment the count, it's somewhere in here, okay? So you kind of put everything inside the HTML tag as the attributes. So this one actually allows us to write things in a more economical way, okay? And that's the gist of it, okay? Before we go, I think it would be nice if you try change something and see the behavior changes. Okay, so maybe if you make this one and change it into 2, count plus 2, maybe you can change that. Okay, and go back to your website, and now the count will be incremented by 2, right? Is that cool? You can even change the count to be negative number, so count minus 2, right? And now it will go down, right? See if that's happened, okay? At least if you change something and it behaves as expected, I think it's at least you feel more familiar with what's going on, okay? So I'm gonna say plus 2, okay? And another thing that you can change is that if you change this part right here, you see number 0? So that's the starting point. If I were to change it into 100, like this, okay, and I hit save, right away my count starts from 100. And now I can increment starting from 100. Okay, see that? So again, I want you to try changing something. So first, change this number. Instead of 0, change it to something else, see what happens. And then that part where you increment, you can increment differently and see if that works, okay? So the last one will be something that's actually more impactful than just counter, okay? So we're gonna do some Discord message, meaning that if you have some like send me message button, right? People can send you message for real, okay? And that one is gonna involve some, some more information from Discord. So if you don't have Discord, it's okay. I won't penalize you from that. But if you do, you can play with me. It's fun, okay? So I'm gonna go to Discord. And I'm gonna log in. Oh, I can log in right away. Usually you have to use a QR scan, will be the best way. So let me see if I can log out and show you. Where do I log out? You know, I don't know. I don't actually know how to log out myself. Okay, log out. Maybe manage account. Log out. Okay. Wow, it's hidden. Okay. So usually you should do this, right? And then you just log in with QR code. That would be the best way. So I just go to my Discord and just log in. Where do I log in? I forgot. Okay. Setting. Scan QR. There you go. Yeah, I can log in. Okay. Oh, wait, log in. Yay, something like that. Okay, so first step, log into your Discord. Okay. If you don't have Discord, you can sign up for one. It's pretty good. Okay, that's okay. 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 Okay, you're almost done. You're almost done. Seriously. Are you glad? Okay, so for those who already have webhook URL, no, if you don't, it's okay. Just sit back and relax, okay? We're gonna go back to my website, again my lecture, and we're gonna go to page number 23. Okay? Again, this part you just copy and then paste it in the part that has HTML tag. So between that empty bracket, again. So I'm gonna go to the very bottom, okay? I'm gonna paste it in here, okay? So notice that I have the stuff again between that empty brackets. Okay, so this part comes from page 23, okay? And next stop, page 24. So it's the part you have to copy again, okay, 24. But now the page 24 is gonna go above the return statement because that part is actually the code, the actual code. Okay, so actually it's getting long, but that's okay. Okay, again, so page 23, copy, I guess, to the bottom between the empty brackets, okay, along with other HTML tags. Page 24, we're gonna copy it and put it above the return statement, okay? And all you need to do is to replace, you see the part where I have webhook URL, okay? You just replace it with your particular webhook URL, okay? So I just tape it right here. So I'm just gonna put here and paste it in between the quotation marks, okay? So it's gonna be long, that's okay, but make sure that you have the quotation marks, the double quotes, okay? And that's it. If you want to check out, then you can go to your website again, and you can contact me, okay? I mean, I'm the only one who can do this right now, right? But you say hello from workshop, okay? And then poke me, and then now you can go to my to the server, and you can see that it actually works. Pretty cool, right? Works. Okay, let me show you one more time. How did I get up to this point, right? So you have to copy two things. Page 24, 23. This part go into between the empty brackets, so just put it below, okay, along with the other parts, your content. Page number 24, it's gonna be above the return statement. Okay, so above the return statement, you see the return, and put it above, okay? And all you need to do, you need to change the webhook URL to be the one that you just copy, and make sure that it's reside between the double quotation marks, okay? And that's all you need to do. And you can test it right now. So, poke me, okay? And now if you go back to your server, it actually works. Okay, let me. Okay, so I'm going to turn off my server, and that means that if I go back to my view and terminal, right, the terminal that is running things should be, you should exit that process. So Control C, okay. So if you did it correctly, your website should be down. For example, if I were to refresh my website, it's down. This is good. We want to turn off the server. Okay, so go to your terminal, Control C to turn off the process. And then we're gonna issue the command called npm run build. Okay, like that. And just build it. Okay, and I was telling you, right? We have so many files in our project, but in the end, all we need to do is to upload these 3 files to Netlify, and you're good to go. In the end, we built everything and bundled everything to just 3 files. And the files are index.html, the CSS, and the JavaScript. See, this is actually the same technology that you used last time. But you know, we go through the process of using the framework first. But in the end, same thing. Okay. So if you did it correctly, then you should see the folder called this appearing in your project. And that is where you want to upload to Netlify. Okay. Let me show you how to do it. Okay. You go to Netlify and sign in accordingly. Log in, I guess, log in accordingly. Okay, and once you're done, you can create new project. I believe you should see the same thing as I do, because you now have more project, you know, already existing. So I'm gonna deploy manually. Remember, last time I was trying to find this particular option. So we're gonna deploy manually. Okay, and you should be greeted with something like this, or something for you to upload. I think there are many ways to do. Okay, and what you want to upload, it's actually the disk folder. So the best way to access the disk folder is to right click and then review in File Explorer. So you should use these options, quite useful. Okay, so I'm going to review in File Explorer, and you can see that this is the folder that I want to drag into Netlify. Okay, so all you need to do is to drag this thing into Netlify, and you're done. Okay, you can show me your website. Okay, let me show you one more time the whole process. Okay, so first you want to build your website. Okay, so make sure that you close it. So Control C on your terminal, and npm run build. So that's the command to build, you know, the whole project into 3 files basically. Okay, if you did that, you should see a folder called dist. This is where you want. Okay, so I'm gonna right click and review file in Explorer. So this is what I want to drag into Netlify. Okay, so on the other side, you need to have your Netlify logged in, and we're gonna create new project and deploy manually. Okay, so you have 2 things. You have this folder, and you have the place where you wanna drop it. That's all you need to do. If everything correct, you can go.